My channel is called The Green Heart of Italy because I retired here. I don't know how to cook. But the Green Heart of Italy is what they call Umbria, Italy. And you need to know how to cook around here. So I'm learning. Okay, I'm making a recipe today. It's Theo Randall. He's a British chef, but he seems to know what he's doing with Umbrian food. And I can attest to that to some degree, because my buddies here are Umbrians, and they know what they're doing. They've taught me a little bit. I can only learn so fast. It's like the Italian language. I can pick up what I pick up. But this is going to be today a pasta. I'm using farfalle, which is the butterfly pasta. I forget what Theo Randall is pasta he's using, but I'll post a link to it. But it's basically sausage, Italian sausage, green peas. Theo says frozen is okay, although he's using right out of the pod. Half a small onion, so I got a half an onion, and some Parmesan cheese for the top of it. But I'm also going to throw in a scallion because I got some scallions I've got a bag of scallions. I don't want them to go bad. And someone in my family's got a problem with onions. So I'm learning how to cook them better, and I'm thinking to go 50-50 with scallions. Maybe that'll help her out. Anyhow, that's going to become lunch. Okay, half an onion, 2 scallions diced fine. They like it diced fine here. I always like things chunky and more rustic, country style. But here they make them fine. So that's the way you got to do it here in Umbria. Now, Theo Randall, he just called for Italian sausage. Well, there's different kinds of Italian sausage. This is called Nocia sausage. It's from the town of Nocia in eastern Umbria. It's famous and extremely good. So, up at the butcher shop, they sell it cased. You can't buy it out of a case unless you just happen to get in there when they're making sausage. So you just squeeze it out of the case. So that's going in the pan together with the onions and scallions in a minute. Okay, got my water almost to a boil here before even the sausage goes in there. And I'm going to get the pasta cooking because this takes 13 minutes. 13 minuti. And when they talk 13 minutes, that's till al dente. And the way you finish this is in the skillet. So I'm going to cook it to the 13 minutes almost exactly, so it's still al dente. I don't really like it al dente. It's tough to my taste. But anyway, based on what I've been making for meals, so I'm really hungry, is 150 grams. I'm going to make 200 and save some for leftovers just to see how this reheats. Yep. Okay, enough on that. While we're at it, this is almost close enough to 200 grams here to call it 200 grams of sausage. 25 grams of Parmesan. Okay, 100 grams, I'm going to call it 100 grams of frozen peas. It's close enough for, nobody's going to die if they don't get this exactly right. If they don't like it, they just won't like it. Put the onions in, or the scallions in first. They were 25 grams. Put the onions in. It was 70 grams. So that's 45. 25 and 50 is 75. So yeah, 45 grams of onions. Again, who's counting? Not too important. We'll see in a minute. Okay, pasta water is ready. It's been salted lightly. Pasta's in. So as of right now, I've got 13 minutes to get the rest of this dish together. So since I'm on a schedule, I've already had the fire going there. Got the oil hot before we committed to our time frame by putting that pasta in there. Now we put down with the lid cracked a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't boil over. Meantime, I'm going to get this sausage in the pan. Okay. There's the sausage in the pan, and this is the way I do it. A lot of people brown the onions and the garlic and the shallots or whatever it is, your onion family ahead of time, and then they get too brown for somebody in my family, and I think I understand that. And they're very touchy about these things being done exactly right in this part of the world. They take their food very seriously. And this method has worked out pretty well, where you brown up the sausage, and as it's cooking, you get the onions and the shallots and whatever it is, your onion family, I call it, cooking at the same time. And I've done this now. I think this is a second time or third. No, this is the third time at least that I've done this, and seems to be working out pretty well. Now again, you're not going to get your sausage in a casing like that, so maybe you won't have to do all this chopping and fussing around here. Okay, now let's go back and take a look at what else here. Okay, so the peas are in here. Go in next. I hope I'm following Theo Randall's his name. I'll post it in the link below. I hope I'm following his recipe close enough. It's not going to be exactly the same, but if you have to cook things exactly to following a recipe and you haven't developed the ability to go outside of what's written on the page, in my book, you're not really studying the theory enough. And that's what I'm hoping to do, because you never know what you're going to have in the fridge and what you want to use up and what you might just want to substitute because it sounds like a good idea. So we're getting there. We're not browned yet. And you see the onions are starting to get transparent. Can you see that? So what that means, I don't even know why I'm chopping around here with this thing. I guess to chop the meat up. At this point, we can do a little bit of this here and get that meat turned over. But the onions are definitely starting to clear up. And if we're not careful, they'll brown. So you can imagine if I'd started the onions before the sausage, how overdone they'd be. So I'm just trying to tinker with things here, and I don't understand. Mr. Randall is a very good cook, and he's not the only one. It's like the whole world cooks their onions and garlic first, and I'm the only idiot here that's cooking it at the same time as your sausage. So how the heck can this be? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I've got the fire too hot when I'm cooking my onions. I don't know. That's probably what it is. I'll play with that, but I like this method. It works pretty good. Because you have to have some heat once you've got your pork on. So even if you do get your onions just perfect before you put your pork on, then while the time the pork is cooking, your onions are going to be overdone. What the heck am I missing here? To me, this makes perfect sense to do it all at once. That way your onion's cooking in your nice pork fats. And I did put a little bit of oil in here just so things wouldn't stick to the pan and burn too much. So a little bit of extra virgin olive oil is never going to hurt a dish if you get just a little bit of it there. Yep. We're getting into a little bit of a danger zone here. Some of these little bits of onion here up on the side of the pan are getting a little tiny bit brown around the edges. So again, it goes back, they do like to chop them really fine here, and I'm not so sure that if you're cooking with pork like this, that's the best idea. Maybe it should be on the same order of magnitude size as the pork. You might still get a little brown around the edges, but most of your piece of onion inside will be okay. Who wants to cook it all separately, then mix it together at the end somehow? That's just takes. There ought to be a way to get this all come right together nice. And again, I'm sorry to criticize Mr. Randall there. Just winging my way through this, trying to make sense based on the heat of the situation and what little bit of chemistry I remember. starting to look pretty good there. Okay, we're ready to add the peas in here. Okay, we got 5 minutes to go here according to my timer. And at this point, the peas get added with a little bit of, he said, just tap water. And the tap water here is not bad. It's got a little bit of mineral content in it. But what they do here kind of fairly often is they'll put a little bit of water in the pan. They'll use pasta water. And I'm tempted I should have used pasta water and stuck with that. So at this point, the peas just heat up. And put a lid on that, help them thaw a little bit. And I don't recall whether or not he did use milk or not, or pane fresca, which is like heavier cream. And I'm going to go ahead and put in half my Parmesan now, so that while this milk's cooking down, that cheese can melt into it. So that's about 25 grams of Parmesan we got in there. And by my calculations, we just got a couple minutes here until that pasta is ready. So let's keep that stirring. And watch this milk thicken up here. So our temperature is down below frying. It's at the boiling point of milk. So we just reduced the temperature of the whole thing to the boiling point of milk from the boiling point of the sausage grease. That's a pretty big drop in temperature. I don't know what sausage grease boils at. I'm going to have to look that up. But I do think here that, the milk is going to be really close to water. So that's down to 100 degrees centigrade, 212 Fahrenheit here. So that's just got to cook down a little bit. And meanwhile, let's grab out a piece of pasta and see. Because our time is getting very, very close here. Our timer is getting close to going off, but I'm not sure it works right when you've got the video recorder application running. That's a farfalle looking there. They call it bow tie pasta, but in Italian, it turns out farfalle is butterflies. So bow ties, butterflies. Whatever. Float your boat there. Okay, come on here. Just one of you guys. One of you. There we go. It doesn't look done to me. Okay. And that's the thing. They lie on these packages. What they tell you is al dente. There's the timer. There's the timer. Okay. Oop. Just a second here. Okay. It is al dente. This time, it was right. It was right on the money. And that's what I'd call al dente. That's a matter of taste, I think, and I don't know. I'm sure there's an official al dente council of Italy. They have a serious discussion, these people, about their food. Now, at this point, that pasta goes in here. It gets stirred together, and we're done. So I'm just going to turn that off, the burner, and get that dumped through a colander so it can stop cooking. Okay, one ingredient I forgot is black pepper. I hope I'm not getting this mixed up with something else. But if he didn't call for black pepper, I don't think we're going to make it bad by doing this. And when in doubt, put the pepper. When in doubt, get the pepper out. That's what I'm going to say. Maybe it'd be a sin not to get the pepper in there. I don't know. Anyway, she's bubbling down. The milk is reducing there. It might have a little bit more pasta water than was needed. And to be honest with you, I used a little bit of half and half that I had left. You know, cream, heavy cream, and also some regular milk, whole milk, none of that low fat. So that's why this is probably taking a little bit longer to cook down than it should. But the pasta's hot and waiting in the colander. So let's just let this continue to go. I wonder, I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit. Watch it real close. Just keep it moving so that it doesn't burn. But it definitely passes the smell test. What's funny about this, some people have asked in, I don't know, different forums about some of these Italian foods here from the heart of Umbria, the heart of Italy, is there doesn't seem to be many spices used. What's up with that, right? Well, all that was in here for spices was pepper. You can consider the onions a spice. They have a flavor. The peas have a flavor. The sausage has a little bit of a spice, just a little bit, this Nocia sausage, but it's delicious. So I think the way they've done things, I really like this style, is if you start with good foods, and I'm paraphrasing here what Theo said, Theo Randall. I'm going to paraphrase and say, if you're starting with good ingredients and you cook them well, it's going to be a good dish. Simple like that. Now, my deviation here was, you know, the frozen peas. Probably going to take a little something away. I think he used pappardelle, which is a big noodle, a big pasta noodle. The farfalle, the butterfly pasta, was the closest thing I had to a big noodle. I'll fix that. But it looks to me like this is reduced enough. And I'm just going by how runny it is there. So at this point, in goes the pasta, still steaming, which is good. And that gets mixed around in there. And that is how you serve it right there, with a little bit of Parmesan, a little bit more pepper. It's pasta, it's sausage, it's peas, it's Parmesan, a little bit of cream in this one. But, okay, time to get half of this on a plate and try it. Okay, a little bit more Parmesan in there. And it's got that shiny look. So that's something you want. Most of these sauces, they should look shiny on the pasta. I don't think it makes them taste any better. It might be something far too subtle for me, if there is a taste difference. But that's the way they like them here. Okay, then, and a little bit of pepper. I love this pepper grinder. I hope it lasts. The darn thing was only 20 bucks. It's got pepper in it and salt too. So you just push whichever button you want there. I'm not going to put salt on it. Salt side doesn't work that great, to tell you the truth. I do like my pepper, so that's it. Let's try it. Okay, what do you expect anybody on YouTube to say? They're going to say it's good, it's good, it's good. Sorry, it's good. Nailed it. It's I screwed up a lot of dishes, and I'm not saying I'm a good cook yet. Not at all. I got a lot to learn. That's fine. Nobody's going to die from your experimental cooking dishes that didn't come out just quite as good as you want them to be. But they have a high standard here, trying to meet it. And that's a good dinner. That is a good damn lunch. Lunch, I should say. What time is it here now? 20 till 3. Kind of late for lunch, kind of early for dinner. But things run their own schedule here, can I say. Bon appetit. I guess I do want to make one more comment. A lot of people don't like peas. I got nothing against them or for them, particularly it's a vegetable. I don't really like vegetables. I never really have. But what that fellow Theo Randall is talking about, is all over this dish, which is that the taste of those peas with the taste of the pork sausage, a little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of pepper. That's it. There's nothing in this dish. It's 5 ingredients, something like that. But it's what they call classic taste. That the people around here who have been working on their cooking for thousands of years, literally thousands of years before the Romans, they've got record of certain dishes that they have made, and they've got it state of the art, no question. Practice makes perfect, so I'll get back to practicing. Okay, you saw that nice bowl of pasta I just had. That was made with 200 grams of pasta, and the other weights are on there. This is going with the lid on it, right in the fridge like this.